So I have taken the mic off over on Instagram, and I'm hoping that you'll be able to hear me. So I figured I would combine Meditation Monday with a reading. So I'm going to start with a reading and then I'm going to lead into the meditation. So I'd already pulled these two cards over on Instagram, but I will go over what I was saying because I don't think the sound was there, and I want to pull one more. Deep Blue Dragon. Okay, so one, it's one from the bottom, 4. Okay, so let's start with Green Dragon. Oh gosh, where was I? Let's repeat. That happened anyway. So what I was saying was, I know I've been AWOL. I thought that my live from Monday hadn't uploaded, but it was there. It was private. I know I've kind of been, I felt as though I've been in a not confined, but in a womb-like state of processing, and that was what was needed for my allowance, for all the physical upgrades I'm feeling, connections and downloads that had come through from the second, from 2-2. So these cards I pulled in asking for guidance just for the Dragon New Year. So I would like to say Happy New Year with our Wood Dragon, and Happy New Moon from Friday, and also Happy Super New Moon. This year is a year of 8, so it's a year of rebalancing, but the wood also element is spring, it's new beginnings. We're coming into wood element as well, so it's perfect divine timing, allowing ourselves to kind of look at the growth and the expansion. I'm going to read you what I posted. This is over on my Patreon this morning. I posted in as I was writing this morning. So the wood element is essentially the element is the essential part, basically, and wood represents growth, new beginnings, and fertility, your drive. Wood is the energy of germination, birth, arousal, creativity, imagination, passion, growth, determination, and hope. Wood is that which propels all life into the active manifestation of their authentic nature and destiny. So this year we look at where we need to grow, where things need to change. We step into the new, our vitality of our energy within the body. It's the liver and the gallbladder, the structures in our bodies, the spine and the limbs, the joints, the flexibility. If you think about wood, you don't want it to break, you want it to bend. So it's thinking about where you can, and this was some of the questions that I posed that you might want to jot down for journal on later if you wish. So the liver function is considered to be the grand architect for our vision of the future. The liver is the center of a strategic planning. The gallbladder is thought to be the center of our ability to make decisions and our judgment of wisely. So whilst the liver is asking the general attack, she says, whilst the liver is asking to generalize the architect, it's the strategically and initializing and quotable disruption of resources and the soothe creation of the being. The gallbladder carries out the liver's plan into action via wise decision making. So clear vision in every sense of the word is at the core of the liver's mission. So which choice is central to the gallbladder? So in terms of why am I mentioning this in the body in terms of the wood dragon? So it's the element that I want you to think about, the element wood, and how that affects the dragon energy, how that affects our energy, and that for the whole year. The body, the wood meditates the strong, the detoxification, the circulation, the blood, the flexibility, the strength, and the connection, the connective tissues, i.e. the tendons and the ligaments, the vitality of the eyes, the healthy digestion of fats, and balances the coordination. It also informs our dreams and imagination, decision making, and capability, and hopeful intuition. So, and there was another bit I added later on about the dreams. So it's also in terms of change and resistance with terms of symbology, the dragon itself for dreams. So that's linked in a way. We regard the emotional body in the health and the emotion of wood expressed as easy, unforced clarity of decisions and actions, in vitality, imagination, and certainty of vision. Out of balance, this can manifest as overnight irritability and aggressiveness. It can also show up as timidity, like being timid, and inability to speak up for one's own individual needs, so letting others basically take over. So to make a clear decision about small details or large life plans. Overlay the information with the dragon, with the Kundalini energy of the globe, according to the dream symbology, as I was saying, that was the other bit I added. It's the changing and our resistance to change that's going to be showing up for us. I believe we will see this mirror in the world. So one of the things I've put here, I believe that the kidneys are representative of the wetlands. And with the extreme weather this year, we will see around lowlands, floodplains, activity and overwhelming when things are not in place, where the toxicity needs clearing for them to do their jobs. The same within our bodies. It's mirrored with what's happening in the earth, with what's happening on the earth from a form perspective. This will spark creativity, innovation, and beginnings of looking at things differently over the toxicity in the planet and our soils and our food chain. So we already are seeing an awareness of this with microorganisms and understanding of how we grow things. And I've been looking at this myself. So the first card I pulled was Green Dragon. It helps you to tune into the secrets of nature. It's understanding how we can cultivate our food differently, our lay of the land differently, working with the land itself. What I was saying over on Instagram before it went, and I haven't saved that because the sound was up and down, was about how we are working in cohesion with planet Earth and cohesion with our body, understanding our body and our cycles, understanding the natural cycles of our planet and the cosmology and how it affects the planet, more importantly, is the shift and in the understanding at the moment. Basically, we have a busy year ahead, lots of positive distractions. But so it's important to focus on the beginnings, your creativity. So one of the things I'm asking here is, where for you is your action and your vitality do you need to work on? And well, for me personally, it's obviously recovering from COVID, and the health aspects of the body has been right up there. But my focused a forced convalescence made me address this on a deeper level of why I needed that time, why my body was in resistance in the first place, and why that's come up. Because everything's divine timing and there's always something to know. What for me there was that I needed that time to process all of that downloads that were coming through. Where in your life do you need to be flexible? We don't want to be breaking the wood, we want that to bend. Where do we need to be more open? So I was thinking, right, I want to do 365 days of Qigong, and actually there are some days that I couldn't be live. It doesn't mean that I'm not doing the Qigong for myself or that the videos aren't there for people to do in their own time, but this is about that flexibility and allowing it to be, no, this is what I'm doing and I'm sticking to that, to be able to evolve things and move. Yes, there was a call for that because I feel as though there is a need for that. but not to be so rigid in our ideas, to be able to open up an expansion of that. So I've looked at how that is affected for me. So what is it that you want to create? And obviously for me is to create these videos and these sharings and these, as insight comes through, a space for people to allow themselves time to work in their own processes, not necessarily saying you have to do my processes and you must follow this and you must eat this way and you must do that. There's none of that, because we've got that Aquarian energy. It's very freeing energy. It's very air light energy around us. And on the, was it the 5th? When did I do that video? Can't think when it was, but not last Monday when I was ill, but the Monday before. If you refer back to that meditation where I was getting that insights and the channeling coming through from the Lyran Council and the channeling coming out, I was talking in the beginning about the wind whipping around you like a dragon floating around you and feeling that energy clearing. That at the moment, it's that was clearing the mind, allowing what needed to come through. I also on 2 as I think I'll do a separate video to talk about this, because it if you're not in my Telegram group, I did kind of go into depth with what I'd seen in the vision I'd had. Now I kind of understand that in more depth, so I'll do an actual video on that. But yes, so what is it that we want to create? I'm going to bring myself back, focus box, Matt Schaefer, as Matt Schaefer would say. Where can you bend rather than break, and so that you can be more open to being malleable with the energy itself for this month, this year? And what is it that you want to create? Where do you want to bend? Make a list of what you would like to create and what you would like to birth into being. So keep your focus. There is lots of things actually being created, being birthed, but it's important to focus for your own soul's journey, and coupled with that Aquarian. So also ask, well, how can I help? What can I do that's in alignment and in accordance with my values, but also that's going to be of benefit to humanity? And so the green to me definitely is what, like, surrounding myself in green, being out in nature in green, that's what's coming through. These are what those keys are. Receiving the answers, going out into the forest and being there in nature, aligning with the divine essence and energy. It helps you to tune into the secrets, and literally nature will tell you what it needs when you work with it. And that's that magical key for that dragon. That's what we're looking at. And what I started to say before I realized that there was no sound on the video on Insta is, think of the forest and the trees like a magnificent kind of cathedral-like structure around you when you're out in nature. When you look up, and I'm seeing in my mind when I go to my local stream and little wood it's not even a forest, it's just a little woodland, but when you look up and you look and you see the sun pouring through and that light, it's like a cathedral-like space. Creating that space in the circle is key. Sacred space out in nature, but seeing that space as sacred everywhere. The whole planet is sacred. That is the key to understanding. When we start to see and hold reverence for the divine essence of nature and Mother Gaia, or how you interpret that. And also the other thing I said, that's one of the keys. There's also in this picture, if you look closely, let's see if that one is little purple flowers are free. There's one on the key, one growing by the tree. It's setting roots there and having the free like the free, the power, the Trinity, as well as planting those seeds of growth for change in the ground. And as we sing, for those of us that are singing our love language to nature, we're doing this, all of us that are doing that. And there's many people that, I'm not just saying myself and those that are viewing here, but many people I know that are doing this, being out there. So Gaia is calling us as guardians of this planet to step it up. And as I was saying, I feel personally like, what did I say about the wetlands being the kidneys and representing the kidneys, and how they're like filter for systems on Earth, that our own filter systems need to be filtered, need to be cleaned and cleansed, detoxed. So yeah, January, people make this like, I'm going to do this as my resolution, I'm going to eat better, I'm going to work, and it sort of falls by the wayside. But kind of bringing that back, what was you saying you wanted to do? Now, how can you put that into the structures? Because like it says, the spine, where is, I can't remember it off by heart. I was on a flow, and I've put a link in to where I got a lot of this information about what the wood element represents and what it means. Force, let's to find it, so I think it's important, the wording. Initializing and quitable disruption of resources on smooth operation of the being. So the gallbladder carries the liver's plan into action via wise decision making, clear vision, and every sense of the word, while the liver is asking for the general or the architect, the strategizing. It's to sort of think about what it needs, giving it what it needs. Aquamarine dragon was the other one. I'm just realising the time, so I'm going to try and speed this up because I wanted to do meditation Monday. I might break it down so you've got this separate. Aquamarine dragon from Neptune. It's this Neptunian energy, enables you to access your deepest soul wisdom. Spirituality and wisdom are available to you. Develop your psychic abilities and receive inevitable soul knowledge. I want you to think about the soul and the water within you, the waters within our planet as well. I'm seeing lots and lots of bubbles in this picture, and it's reminding me the bubble of light that's around. If you feel you need to put your bubble and your light suit on, like I realised I was doing 2 Mondays from last, but not for the sense of I need protection because we're all standing in our own light, but more that I need a little bit of a boundary in place for me to alchemize the energies and to process, to kind of step back, because you need that weight, that receiving and then allowing it to seep through. Think about in terms of an earth, as things pour on top, if it all comes at once, it overwhelms, it floods, it's muddy. Then just a tree in itself would get flooded. It needs to soak that up slowly with the wood. It wants that moisture, it needs that and it draws that up. Actually takes an opposite of gravity, sucks that all up, in that flow. So I'm feeling a sense of, again, I'm seeing the free prawns, the Trinity present, and the free seahorses around this dragon, and the key, again, this gold energy with water, allowing the waters of the soul in a very poetic sense. That's what I'm seeing around. Allow things to float around, allow the water itself to be in the sunlight, to clear, to purify. That light is going to help with that, when that information in the cells in the sea, but also in the cells in your body on a biological level. The deep blue dragon keeps you safe by clearing the pathways, and it's that blue light blue and the dark blue that I was referencing, that I was seeing very, very present, that I was saying with these three, when I saw the vision of the pyramids I was talking about not last Monday, but the Monday before. So trust you are protected and walk the path of the light. We are actually being called to clear with our own spark, with our passion, by creating, by seeding, by planting the seeds, whether it's in conversation or whether it's physically planting seeds for growth. Allow things. Can you see that ball of light from the sun? It's reflecting the place. I love it when that happens. It's so beautiful. It's kind of, I don't know what it's bouncing off of behind me, but it's just seeing that, allowing our imagination, our creativity, not to get lost in the Neptunian, but to clear new ways of thinking, of being present, of showing up. Said in other ways, trust that your own fires, what ignites you, what your creativity, your as we said here, your arousal, creativity, imagination, passion, growth, determination, and hope, they're germinating into birth. And when I say that word arouse, it's like, yes, it's sex too, it's passion, but on all level, but birth as well, the new spark of what's happening. It's that flow of the water, and that's really coming through clearly. The deep blue oceans are going to be very, very in the forefront, I think, with fire and smoke. But I see a beautiful pink behind him, and literally it's that healing coming through. It's like rose quartz energy that's kind of coming on top of that, off the back of that, of what will happen from that. We may not like what we're seeing in the 3D, and it's easier to get really upset and emotional about what's happening, and I'm not denying that I myself get caught up in that, but that's not part of my job. That there are others who are at the front of that, who are brought through to clear that energy on a very throat chakra level for freedom keys and other stuff. I'm here to remind what's happening on a higher perspective, on an energetical, and that's what the dragon energy is very much about. Trust that you are naturally protected, and the orange gold dragon from Arcturus opens you to the knowledge for the new golden age. It carries the energy of future, and be a guiding light. It's the blue ones, it's our star family, and it's, I was saying orange gold here, but it's because that golden connection of creation energy. When I'm doing the Qigong and I'm saying to you, link to the golden central sun, feel that through our sun Solaris, and link it up as high as you can through the layers of the Caphoric grid to level 15. That's literally what I'm talking about, going up past that and then going into lower incarnation energy is what I feel through. This is saying it opens to that age. That's part of that ancient wisdom that's now being remembered, future past wisdoms coming back and opening for us to do so. I'm going to just read what Diane Cooper actually says after what I've said about this. And before I do, is there anything else that I want to say from seeing from these? So bubbles of light, things bubbling up around with regards to water and air and oxygen and oxygenation as I feel in my own nose, oxygen and breath work I've been learning about, and I'm learning about all of the science behind what it does for our body and our neurology. Brilliant, wonderful. I'm not going to go into the science about that because most of you probably know that view me, probably breathwork coaches yourself, but that is relevant to the lungs and the lungs of the planet. And I felt like that was also part of this year, although I haven't pulled a card on that here. Water and oxygenation of water and how we use water in a healthier way. So the flow of water, living water, is very important. Venda Austin point you in her way, and Dr. Emoto, all of that body of work will sort of speaks to that anyway. And there's lots and lots of other stuff now scientifically saying about how water is and the structure of water on a cellular level, and how it helps our body is important for this year for us on an ascension. So what else? The fire and smoke, and think of the smoke as where there's clearing and toxicity in the body and how we can clear that out. When you think of breath of life, that is important. I have 2 kids in the room now, so I might have to run this. I really need to finish this, guys, so please continue with your beautiful, beautiful patience. So I'm going to read on. I was just going to say something about the stars I'm seeing in this one, which I didn't really show you, did I? Central sun and that golden energy, feeling that mirroring in the stars above. And as I've said before, it kept saying look to the north, the 3 stars in the north. Right, let's get up quicker. If there's anything I need to say from here, I feel like there's something I'm missing and I'm not perhaps at my best at the minute. So let's orange. Oh, we got green dragon. This first. Green dragon 64. All answers lie within nature. Every single thing we need whilst on earth is provided for us in nature's world. 5th dimensional green dragons touch our psychic center and help us to tune in to the sacred geometry of the trunks of trees, the petals and the flowers and the shells and the snails and everywhere. The master Pan kingdom, it's Pan himself. So the codes that bring us to tune into our divine essence when we are fully aligned with our 5th dimensional blueprint, we are automatically whole and healed. So the guidance here from the card, from the book, nature kingdom is a magical place in which we have all our answers are held for us. Luminous green. And I'm hearing, I saw something randomly the other day, there's no random, it's there, about the algae in caves that was in ancient caves that the ancients would talk about, because it's kind of luminescence in itself, and it lights up in the dark. It has this sense about it, and I'm seeing now, like you get in marine, the same thing. There's going to be something about that within science, I think, that's going to be important, that will hold answers within structures to help with healing of the planet and of us. Dragons help us to read these answers. So if you can sit quietly in nature, call the green dragon and ask for guidance. The response may come to you consistently or inconsistently, so accept that there is importance that has been activated within you, whether you are aware of it. Is it connecting? Let's have a look. I think I'm still there. Hopefully I'm still there. Apologies if it broke up a little bit. It was telling me the internet connection was a little bit off. 82. Enable to access the deepest soul wisdom. So this is the Neptunian dragon that we were looking at. Neptune is the watery planet of the advanced spirituality and enlightenment. The aquamarine dragon from Illuminated Planet carries the light of the universe, which contains spiritual information and knowledge. They will approach us and ask us to tune into them so that they can download the light into our energy fields. This will enable us to take information and know how to apply it wisely. As these gentle dragons flow around us, so think about this as you drinking water, and when you're near bodies of water, that you're receiving that information from them. They also help us, and when I say as physical dragons, you may see it as dragon energy, it may be archetypal energy. There's no like, oh, there's dragons or no dragons. It's not about that. It's about the information and the downloads, and kind of let the ego go over the head about that, because I know that comes up just for to add the knowledge and wisdom and pass it into others humbly, sincerely and honestly. They are the ability to pour liquid light into us, which builds our crystalline body. So hence why water is really important for the ascension. The body more quickly enables us to shine. They are also enhancing our psychic development by enabling our psychic chakras to open up more easily. We may find our subtle knowing is heightened after encountering them. And I spoke about the whole telepathy thing. I've spoken of that before. So aquamarine dragons from Neptune are water dragons. They will flow around you, surround you with their aquamarine energy, awakening your psychic abilities, connecting them often, and each time you do so will light up more of the key codes in your true essence. This will bring you soul contentment and a sense of your divine magnificence, and you will experience high levels of enlightenment and see the world and the universe through different eyes. It allows you to see from higher perspective. Your guidance is to drink a glass of blessed water. That's what I was saying about the other thing that you can do is like charge your water, be it through crystals, through the sunlight, that sun pouring through. So you need to send some of that out with the selenite, through singing to the water. So when I pour a glass from the tap, I know it's not living water when it comes from the tap. I tend to boil my water first, and then I have it's in the kitchen actually, a bottle that's got crystals under it, and leave it till it's gone cold before I drink it. The other thing I do when I'm pouring it from the tap is singing to the tap, just like, but in my intention, it's with love and with thanks and blessings to reactivate that into more living water. And once it's been on crystals for a few days, and it will be, take some time, but if you want to keep it, remember that glass is better for that. So that's another thing just to add. As to tune into these dragons, then they will be able to touch you more profoundly when you are connecting them to the structure of the living water. That enables you to access the information of the water. For the water's not from Earth. Our water hit and created the seas billions and billions of years ago, so it's from the stars. Blue Deep Dragon, that was the other one I hadn't read on. So Blue Deep Dragon 60. Work with Archangel Michael and the Angel of Strength. So this is the deep blue frequency of deep blue energy, as the color is a frequency, whether you're associated with Angel Michael, deep blue dragon, just the color or the energy of the frequency of that light. Strengthens and protection. The dragon can delve into the deep, dense matter in a way that angels cannot. They can clear and transmute lower frequencies up to 1 kilometer around those they work with. These frequencies may be our emotions, our thoughts, and our thoughts of people within our facility, so those in your household. Many of us, so you're also then, think of it as like you're working through the Caphoric grids of each of the people and the beings and living in the vicinity up to a kilometre. Many of us are very sensitive and do not realise how much of the vibration of others impact us. And right now that's heavy for some on us. Every time we walk in a crowd, there was a time I couldn't walk in crowds when I was still waking up and learning how to put my boundaries and my energy in place. Others impact on us every time we walk around them. We are in the sea of a mixture of energies, and these deep blue dragons are master clearance experts. They blow away the foggy vibration of them, and Archangel Michael can move easily, connect with us, and place his deep blue cloak around us. So if you use that as a visualization, that you're being wrapped in that deep blue, and I feel as though this deep blue energy, I spoke about this a few times, has been coming through on a really deep level, because now there's been this collapsing of those old things. It's so much easier. So if you think of it, there was this heavy layers and layers like onions that have now been taken away, that before it was kind of still moving, still tangible. That's gone. So now we're kind of, it's like we're hoovering up that stuff that's been created over so many thousands of years, and now we're kind of unpicking it and clearing it, and it's easier than ever because of the flow of that. The card is suggesting that you call on a deep blue dragon to protect you and your loved ones. So visualizing a protective army of deep blue dragons guarding you in front of you, whether you walk or you drive, wherever you go, feel as though you've got that around you. Part of your energy system is that deep blue. Let them protect you in your home, in your office. Ask them to drive into the ground deep around your house and to consume the lower energies, and ask them to keep an area of a kilometre around you totally clear, to relax and trust this is happening, and know that that's already happened, because the deep blue dragons are transmuting the lower energies of those in your vicinity. You are no longer moving through a dense energy of others. Note how much lighter and happy you are feeling. You can serve the planet by asking the deep blue dragons to dive deep into shopping malls, schools, big buildings, or anywhere you feel they are needed to consume that dense frequency and that vibration. And lastly, but not, it's orange gold. That's what I was looking for, the word orange before. So I was obviously meant to say it last. Orange gold 96. Oh, I love those 9s and 6. It's on page 96, and I've been sort of talking about 369 energy. so she goes to 93 and 96. Arcturus is one of the most advanced star systems in the galaxy, and a protocol of Earth's future awesome 7th dimensional orange gold dragons from Arcturus come to us when we are ready to become a walking master and help to usher in the golden age, which most of us that view me are all on that path to do. When a spiritual army of those dragons move in a pace, they stimulate great evolutionary change in all that are touched. They are flowing into Earth now to help us during the exciting years ahead. So I've been saying for a long time, when we connect to like the sun, the light, and visualize that golden energy. So when we're doing our classes, when we're working through the Qigong, silver threads wrapped and gold threads, that's that gold, that creation. It's connected on lots of levels to that energy, but that's how you can light that fire and allow that in and access it. It is not by chance you have incarnated during the extraordinary 20-year period when our planet is undergoing a double dimensional shift. Earth needs spiritual leaders and light beings. These dragons are blazing their light towards you, for it holds the vision of our fifth dimensional future. What he's saying is, at this time, that's why so many are waking up and that are needed. And those within the network, I know I'm thinking in particular of your soul at the moment, your soy at the moment, are in different places on Earth, are doing different grid work energy and shifting that, and they may just be doing it may be like you're walking around a supermarket and you feel the energy shift and you literally visualize a white flash of light going through that whole building, and that it's as simple as a blessing, or it might be that you're sending out love, however you see it. Like I was saying once before, like when you walk past water bottles, I always walk past and send like that, so anyone that consumes them is going to get that information that that's being in frequency into them in that intention. Receiving the card indicates that it is time to stand in your power and fulfill your destiny. And that's not just me, that's everybody, that's like all of us, allowing us to have that orange gold dragon. And I'm seeing like the citrine, the oranges, the citrus fruits as well. Arcturus and vitamin C for me is what they're saying as well. Enter your energy fields and breathe into you the vision of Earth as it will be. So I'm often saying, and I will, within the meditation, we will do this, see it as it already has happened. It's hard to do because of what we're awareness, and if by definition when we say, oh, we're sending love to the Middle East, for example, we're still seeing the Middle East as needing that healing. Instead, see it happened in the now moment, in the emotion of love, already being perfectly wrapped in the new way of being, not as it has been. That's old frequency, that's old news, that's why things are shifting. And I know in saying that, that's hard for some to comprehend and may say I'm not really grounded in reality. I get that, but to bring it into reality, we need to see it in its being already happened in the now. So they will be given the strength, the wisdom and the knowledge that you will need for the transformation ahead, which is happening. You have much to do, many people to help, and a beautiful seventh dimensional orange gold dragon of Arcturus is to stay by your side as you need it. Be in guiding beacons of light the way for many. So it's saying, as always, like, we are the light, be the light within, be yourself. Look, it's 44 minutes, so I will switch to the meditation. I think I might do a separate video for that, so come out and go back in, so that they're broken into two videos, so that you can go straight into the meditation, but with the intention of holding space for that happening within us for the year, for the wood. And obviously I was speaking at the beginning about the wood year and bending, and how we can use our passion, our desire, and be the architects to structures, enabling us to be that in our body, to enable that to be that on the planet, for the planet itself is already doing that. And as it's 4444, I'm going to finish there, and I will be live again in a second for the meditation. Thank you for joining me. Love and blessings in your now moment. See you shortly.